Drake has been cooked so much by UMG, I had lost count. It was recently reported that Drake had submitted an appeal and UMG has responded to it. Now, in this response, they talk about how Drake is trying to undermine hip hop and trying to get at UMG for still promoting the song Not Like Us. So we're going to take a look exactly at what they said so we could get the clearer message. It says here, although Drake has used UMG's platform to attack Lamar in equally incendiary terms, he now claims UMG defamed him by releasing the recording, that the track violates NY penal law, and that UMG's promotion of it violated NY general business law, GBL 349. The district court dismissed. Applying settled New York law, it recognized that whether the statements convey fact or opinion depends on full context, including forum, tone, language, and surrounding circumstances. The court correctly held that Not Like Us, a diss track released during the rhetoric-drenched rap feud and full of hyperbole, boast, and insults, would be understood by a reasonable listener as opinion. Drake does not show otherwise on appeal. Instead, he seeks to strip words from their context and deem them actionable defamation. If anyone anywhere might treat them as factual, that is not the law, and Drake's view would critically undermine highly creative art form built on exaggeration, insult, and wordplay. Drake's penal law and GBL argument fare no better. The court should affirm the dismissal. And they seriously cooked this guy towards the end. Drake's view would critically undermine a highly creative art form. They are saying that Drake is trying to undermine hip hop, trying to say all of these things just to say that he don't respect the art form. And to be honest, you would expect more from a guy who studied rap battles for a living. I mean, and people always talk about, oh, everybody is dragging this out. Everybody is dragging this conversation out, the battle out. Bro, he's the one in court for a lawsuit. He's undermining hip hop because he lost the rap battle. And the whole point of this situation, and the reason why I want to bring this up too, is because people had this recent conversation about why is everybody talking about the battle? Why is everybody talking about the situation still 2 years later? Bro, because he's in court still suing for it. He's still in court right now trying to sue and trying to appeal. This is ridiculous, bro. And then they wonder why we cover this situation. They wonder why we still talk about it, because he doesn't let it go. He doesn't let it go. He refuses to let it go. He keeps bringing it up, and UMG keeps cooking him. Now they're saying that he don't even respect the art form. He don't even respect the craft. He is undermining it to get advantage. He is undermining it to try to sue and try to get some money out of it. I think the biggest argument that he had in this lawsuit was over his contract, over the money, over the negotiation. He's always tried to point that out. I mean, they talk about it right here. They say that Drake does not show otherwise on appeal. Instead, he seeks to strip words from their context and deem them actionable defamation. He keeps trying to isolate Not Like Us, tries to talk about it in its individual self. However, you can't talk about the battle just towards one song. You got to talk about how we got there. We got to talk about all the songs. We got to talk about tailor-made freestyle and how you told Kendrick to diss you that way. You know, how did we get to this point? But he's constantly trying to undermine the situation because he doesn't respect hip hop enough to try to understand that he lost the battle and he shouldn't be suing in the first place. And it gets to the point where you start to think, why doesn't he just let it go already? I mean, after the appeal, I'm sure we're not going to hear about the lawsuit again. I think that it is going to stay dismissed. I don't think that the appeal is going to work. And UMG's response is the same response that they've been giving this whole entire time. It's really suing for no reason, because there's no way that you think that for the reasons that you're saying, you're going to win this lawsuit, you're going to get this appealed. No way in hell is this going to work out for you. Now, remember, you diss people too. We had to release your diss tracks too. You can't sue us for releasing a diss track when you were releasing diss tracks as well. It doesn't work that way. And people are constantly dragging it. People are constantly dragging it, but only because Drake refuses to let it go. Drake refuses to let the situation go. He doesn't want to just forget about the case. If he really gave a fuck about his career, he would stop trying to go to court over this situation. But I'm telling you, money is the motive. Money is the motive. The only reason why we're here 2 years later is because he continues to try to get money out of UMG. It's the same reason why he wanted to work with Kendrick Lamar, and it's the same reason why he's in the courtroom now. It's all about money. It's all about negotiation. It's all about the contract. 400 million isn't enough for this guy. He needs more than 400 million, and the only way to get it is if I go through this lawsuit. Otherwise, if it wasn't about money, and if it was about defamation of character, why didn't he just sue Kendrick Lamar in the first place? I think that's a question that we've all asked each other, right? If you're really mad about the song, why didn't you just sue the person that made it? How come you have to go after the label? Because the label has money. What I also don't like that's been going on regarding the situation is that people keep saying, well, why do you guys keep talking about the battle? Why do you guys keep talking about the battle? Bro, he doesn't let it go, dog. He doesn't let it go. He keeps going. He keeps going. If he never had to sue, let's say he never sued, and he just stayed quiet this whole entire time and then dropped his album. The public would probably perceive him better than they do now. I don't think people would bring up the battle if he didn't speak about it at all, if he didn't file a lawsuit at all. But because he keeps wanting to fight this situation, he's the one that's making it worse on himself. Who do you blame? Do you blame the fans for not letting it go? Do you blame the people, the stands, the parasocial people? Who are you trying to blame? Or do you put the blame on the person who refuses to let it go? Do you put the blame on the artist? The artist is the one that's making a big deal about it. The artist is the one that's in the courtroom right now. He's the one trying to set the appeal, and that's forcing UMG to respond. And some people are saying that Iceman isn't even going to come out until the appeal gets settled. I don't know if that's true or not, but to be honest, it's just a waste of time, and he's delaying his project even more if that's the case. I don't think he's waiting for this appeal to get approved or denied so that way he could drop the album. I think he's just pussyfooting around, and he don't really want to put out the project. He keeps teasing that motherfucker. He just put that shit out by now. But anyways, I think the person who's at fault for prolonging the situation is Drake. He's the one that's going to court for it. He's the one that's wanting to sue for it. And they keep telling him time and time again that the lawsuit is frivolous and he's trying to undermine hip hop at the same time. And what also bothers me about the situation is that J. Cole, for example, is doing these interviews. Jay-Z, for example, is doing these interviews. And in some cases, like J. Cole is trying to paint Drake as a victim. But what bothers me more about these interviews as I watch them is that they never ask about the lawsuit. When they interviewed Jay-Z, they didn't ask him about the lawsuit. They asked him about rap battle, but they didn't ask him about the person who sued after the rap battle. J. Cole has done 4 interviews at this point, and we'll get to the last interview in a second. But in all of these 4 interviews, nobody asked him about Drake's lawsuit. You would think if we're talking about the battle and we're talking about the big 3, all the people involved, you would think that they would ask him about how he feels is bad enough that he didn't like the Cameron lawsuit. By proximity, you would think he doesn't like Drake's lawsuit. But we don't know because people don't ask him. It's just funny how nobody has asked a question about this lawsuit. If you ask me, this lawsuit is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to hip hop. He's trying to undermine the art form. And never in a million years would I think that people would back up a label before backing up an artist. But here we are today. UMG is in the right and Drake is in the wrong. It's never what I thought I'd be defending a $1 billion to $1 million company. This is crazy to me. But this is where we're at. And to be honest, it's Drake's fault. UMG basically said, you're not like us. You don't respect the art. You don't respect the culture, which is crazy to think that UMG is telling that to Drake. But I digress. Y'all can tell me how you feel about this. Y'all let me know how you feel in the comment section. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the channel, been rocking the channel. Y'all make sure y'all like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel and all that, man. Hope everybody has a great afternoon. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.